Have you heard about the famous Harvard University? I mean, who hasn't? Dropping some hints, it's also home to delicious cream pie, and guess what? One of the Harvard's campuses is located right here. Yes, I'm talking about none other than Boston, the largest city in Massachusetts, USA. And if you're planning to study here, you might be thinking that the USA is quite expensive. Let me tell you, Boston can be a bit costly too. It can leave a dent in your wallet. But don't you worry, we have got you covered in today's video. Hi everyone, this is Sanskriti, and today I'm going to talk about the cost of living in Boston. So without any further ado, let's get started. First, let's break down what makes up the cost of living. It includes essential aspects like accommodation, food, transportation, utilities, and some miscellaneous cost. Living in the heart of the city close to your university is a clever choice. But the accommodations near the city center are a little bit expensive compared to the accommodations further away. If you're exploring accommodation options such as PBS's purpose-built student accommodation, then the monthly expense for that, living in a private room in a shared living area or private studio, will usually fall between $1,700 to $2,200. You also have the option to choose ensuite rooms, which include a private bathroom. Or you can choose a non-ensuite room, which has the facilities available to all and shared between the students. In a city like Boston, you'll find this range quite affordable and reasonable. How can we be so sure? Well, PBS's offers security measures and amenities, and they are exclusively designed for students like you. Whereas private rental apartment lacks such security measures. With this, I can confidently say that PBS's offer a wonderful package deal. All the essential utilities like electricity, water, Wi-Fi, gas are all included in the rent. Whereas if you plan on going for a private rental apartment, you might have to pay $250 to $400 per month just to cover those utilities. So choose wisely. Now let's talk about another basic element in the cost of living, the food part. Going out to eat every day, even at a moderately priced restaurant, can put a stain on your budget. Now, for instance, if you dine at a 3-star restaurant 3 times a week in Boston, you will end up spending $250 to $400. Is it a little too much? I know your inner voice is nodding its head. Well, the wiser choice is to cook for yourself and stock up on groceries, which will just cost you around $120 to $200 per month, depending on what you buy. And of course, you're allowed to have some fun and get your favorite meal and burgers. Well, you can get a McDonald's meal at just $10. So go get your burgers now. Once you have sorted your accommodation and food, it's time to discuss transportation in Boston. The easiest way to get around Boston is the subway, also known as the T-Ride. You can get monthly passes at just $90, saving you a lot of money. But if you want to pay per ride, you can get subway fares at just $2.5, whereas bus rides will be around $2. Using a Charlie card will help you save some bucks. If you don't have one, you can get it from an MBTA customer service agent at certain T stations or even online. Let's talk about the final part, those extra expenses that you might come across while studying in Boston. For things like medical supplies, entertainment options, mobile plans, clothing, or maybe for a gym, you can expect to spend around $200 to $400 per month. Any guesses on how much all of this will add up to? Well, brace yourself, because it's somewhere around $2,300 to $2,700 per month to survive in Boston. Consider this as your personal cheat sheet on Boston's cost of living. And remember to stay in touch with University Living for more such thrilling cost of living videos around the world. This is Sanskriti signing off. See you all in the next video.